Okay, this one here is the AnyTone AT-D878UVII Plus, and this one is the TID radio. Big difference in price between the two of them. It basically feels the same. Yeah. The display is about the same size. It's just that now the colors that you see on the AnyTone, that's not the default screen. I kind of played with the colors a little bit. If TID radio had the same software as this radio used, problem solved. That's what they got to work on, and I believe there's some firmware updates they will need to do. I have satellite connection right now. Anywhere in this place, the satellite works. So it has Bluetooth built in, it has GPS, and it has, oops, let me turn on, and it has APRS. Okay. This has GPS, but apparently the function is locked out right now, and I'm waiting for a firmware update. They say they're working on it. Oops, let me hit. I guess I got it timed out. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the AnyTone because I have videos on this. If you're looking for an H8, this would be a good replacement. This way you can play with DMR, and especially when they fix the software and some firmware bugs. Otherwise, on FM, no issues. It works really great. Okay, and the difference in price, I think locally the average price is what, $500 here. You can get them for a couple $100 if you know where to go. Canadian dollars, of course. And I believe I got this, I think it was $50 Canadian. They may be 80 now or something like that, so catch it on flash sale. Anyways, for now, for DMR, it's on hold. Okay, let's turn this off, and we're going to talk about the AnyTone. Okay, I played with the screen colors and so forth. Oops, let me zoom in a little bit better. Hold on, there we go. And you can program, let me see, I can switch sub-channel off. And now the color zone, I happen to select orange, but you can put black, white, blue, cyan, whatever colors you want. Okay. Too much color I don't think looks very good. Okay, just switch back to dual. It is programmed. It's a setting. And let me hit this. Oops, this is the squelch. And I think on top, what did I get? Oh, I think I got the FM.
5's big stage, the 2026.
Yeah, okay. There you go. So, very similar. The big factor with this, is that you can program, make changes on the radio itself. I have yet to find anything on the computer software that I can't make the change in here. And when it comes to customizing it, wow. Even these program keys that you have on the side, you don't have like 4 or 5. It seems like you got 20 or 30 options. And yeah, it works good. And I had no issue running this. This is the for the jack. It comes with the usual power charger, all the cables. Oh, it even came. Oops, I think I just hit it. With this Bluetooth switch. Push to talk. I guess you can strap it to your wheel, car wheel, or whatever. It comes with a strap too. And comes with all the cables. Okay. I'll put that back. I still could use a better camera setup. Okay. Check the focus on this. Okay, I'm going to show you the program. It comes with, of course, the rubber ducky. It comes with a battery, 3100 milliamp battery. I think it wouldn't be compatible with the other ones I have. You just kind of push on this button. It pops out. Yeah, 7.4 volts. 22.9 watts. Little sticker there. Shove it in, close it. Actually, once you know how to push this little side button in the back, it's very quick. It'd be nice to have a second battery for this, but we'll wait and see. Okay, it was just booted up. And you can do the usual thing. You can, I should zoom in a little bit better. You can not only customize the screen, even the startup, you can even have background pictures or have your own logo. So you can do a lot with this. The main thing is it came complete. Satellite, Bluetooth, APRS, DMR, FM, the usual receiver coverage that you find. You're able to change this radio for different zones. In other words, what I mean for zones is countries. And I will show you that on the TV. And you have the usual menus, okay? Most of the time you be in settings. There's your GPS, Bluetooth, APRS. I know how to set up APRS, but I haven't turned it on yet. This is the second day that I had this unit, so just the beginning of, imagine quite a few more videos. Let's go to settings here for a minute. Radio set, channel set, yeah. And let's go to device info. Okay, that's my radio ID. The radio name, model number, D878UVII. It is a plus, but it doesn't show it. And there's the transmit frequencies, not the receive, the transmit. 430 to 450, 144 to 148, which is the Canadian ham bands. Version 4.0, which is the very latest, which I checked already. This radio came with no updates required. Hardware version. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, they have a code here. See that green button? I think the green button is a newer radio. So, I guess wake up my computer here for a minute. There you go. Last Pro update. It says 24 last year. Pick version, dealer code. Yeah, it has everything. Hit back. Okay, let's focus on the program now. When it comes to using the software, between the TID radio software and this one, basically the same, except the AnyTone is fully complete. One thing that I found was essential is when I want to export something, I can export all the channels, separate CSV files. Not that I need the radio ID list because it's only going to be one, but I guess if you're in a club where you got maybe 100 ham radios sharing it, yeah, you can put 100 radio ID lists. Zones, yeah. When I create zones there for DMR, or even a scan list, if I create that, these are all separate CSV files which I could import into my database and have a copy, so that if I lost this radio and had to get another one, I wouldn't have to reprogram it. I could individually load it or keep a copy of the CodePlug, as they call it. The address book, talk groups, digital contact list. Oh yes, this radio has 2 gigabytes memory, which means I could load 500,000. I believe right now I got about 200,000 in there. I think that was the size of the file. I just downloaded what was available the other day. And one thing I did notice, it didn't take that long in comparison to the TID radio. So the TID radio, I don't know if it's a CPU or the interface, definitely not as fast as the AnyTone. So this is a fast radio. I don't know, it must only took less than 10 minutes, while the other one I think took hours just to load 140,000. But what's nice about it is that it saves it, and when you make changes in the radio, you don't have to go through the whole process of backing up and saving your contact list. Because when you go to do an export, that option you could turn on and off. And prefabricated SMS, if you have maybe 100 SMS canned messages, yeah, you can create it on your laptop, a computer, and then upload it. And this will be the FM radio stations. If I was to compare the FM radio station to the TID radio, I would say the TID radio FM station was better. It seems to be better. And of course on the ICOM it's like 1,000 times better. Just to let you know. I don't use FM radio, so it's not a problem. Receive group call lists. If you're going to do scanning, your groups, you need it. Otherwise, I don't think you don't. So when I create a video later on, I will explain that. And this I have not used. I don't see myself using that. Again, you can create your own hotkey, quick key setup. Yeah, even the radio settings, you can save as a separate CSV file. And all this GPS roaming, optional settings, yeah, that would be your radio settings right there. So, and then you select it, name the file, hit export, it's done. I love that. It just works great. And then if you go to tools again, hopefully you're able to see this, and you can do import. I say okay, and there you go. I can import those same files. Firmware update, options, your pictures, so everything that you need here. Program to read. I don't need a quick tip, so I'll turn that off. Model information. Okay, this is where it tells me my receive and my transmit. It's 400 versus 430, and I have the, I guess you call the air bands, 136 to 174. Okay. Now, let's show a few more things. As I mentioned before, you can actually do this on the radio itself. However, it certainly would be easier if you have created a database and export as a CSV file, which is what I'm doing in the process. In fact, this particular radio here, I like it so much that I approached my seller, and he promised that he will send me another one for the same price. So that's in Canadian currency, by the way, $200. So anyways, unfortunately, it's no longer available for most people. You have to shop around. That's how well I like it. It works. That's it. I think I got all the radios I need. Okay. Channel. Okay. When you first get this, there's a certain sequence that you have to do. Okay. Okay, where's my mouse? Oops, there you go. I got this connected to a laptop, and showing this on a large screen. The first thing you need to do is enter your radio ID. Okay, that's important. You can't do much, or you'll end up maybe even crashing your program or even the radio if it doesn't meet a certain criteria. So that's the first thing you have to do. Okay? And the other option, of course, would be selecting the model number. You know, be sure you select the right country. And before you even do that, you should save whatever's on the radio. Save it first, call it original, keep it, don't delete it, just in case you do something in the wrong sequence. And then there is an option of resetting your radio and so forth. So there's ways around it. Otherwise, if you don't and you enter frequencies or try to import frequencies that are out of band, it will say out of band, it will fail. And if the radio import, for example, or export doesn't catch those errors and the radio reboots, it'll crash. You'll take the battery out, put it back in, and probably force a reset. So it's important that these things are done in the right order. So that's master ID or radio ID, model, properly selected. And I think there was one more. I can't think of it right now, but I no doubt we'll mention it. After that, the first thing I did is I plugged in some analog channels. I wanted to check the audio quality, transmit quality, stuff like that. And I have to say, the audio quality transmit was beautiful. Yeah. From the little bit of testing, I kind of listened to myself. I would say it's probably even better than the TID radio. But I would have to do side by side later on in time. But that's based on memory only. So take it at its worth. It's not a real comparison. One day when both radios are fully working, I'll set both of them on equal basis there. Okay. Now, like I said, I did the analog first, so let me go up here. And of course, I selected a simplex channel so I can do testing without causing much interference. So this is what I used. Correct frequency. If I was to use a plus or minus offset, then I would put minus 600 or 600. You don't have to put the plus. Data AC, I think I got that disabled, but that's something you only need, I think, for DMR. And you have the option of analog. That's the first thing you do. Turbo means your maximum power. So you have low, medium, high, and turbo. And okay, and I use 12.5K on VHF. Some people will use 25. I use 12.5 on everything. You will see some errors. I wouldn't call them errors. I just not completed the programming. And here is where you can select your tones. Okay. In this particular case, I don't want to be causing interference or being on top of someone, so I don't use no squelch, no tone codes or anything like that. I can hear the activity, don't cause interference. Okay, so that's basically it, and that's it. And then you go to next. Now this is a repeater offset, so notice that it has a -600. You might not see it. I have that off. Analog, turbo. This has CTCS. I have that in. And that's basically it. And let me go now to, oops, I went too far. As you can see, I can see you can put a lot of channels here. Okay, I guess I'll just scroll down. Okay, these are the 3 DMR repeaters. 443, 448. I don't know why it says 1250. I would think it would be 5000, but it works. So, and I should have this disabled. Okay. And this should be digital. And I can set up APRS if I want. Now, talk around simplex. The advantage of that is if you have that turned on and someone also has talk around simplex, you can switch and talk simplex and not go through a repeater. I think that's what that is all about. Prohibit. If, for example, you put in a airband or a GMR station that you don't want to accidentally transmit, you put push to talk and it will not transmit, but it will receive. So when I set up APRS, I'll look at that, but not for now. And again, I want turbo, obviously. Transmit permit, always. I mean, you can have it only when it's free, no when it's talking, or if it's a different color code or same color code. For now, always is good. And this is important. You don't want to have DMO simplex. It's a repeater, so you select repeater. No codes involved, nothing there. And this is where I want DRO. This is where I have yet to play with. I'm just looking, because what I have there is not properly set up yet. I'll put that there for now. Okay. The radio ID, this particular repeater uses a color code of 6. This is something that's different. On the other radio, color code 6 was automatically both for receive and transmit. This one has separate. So that's new. And you have 2 slots. Slot 1, slot 2. So basically what it means, you can have 2 communications going on because it's a narrow band on the same repeater. Increases the capacity of users, I guess. And this is the receive group that I've started to create. And I think that's it. I hit next. By hitting next, it should save everything. Let me prove it. Yeah, there you go. It saved everything. Now, for some reason, this one has 0. Let me see if the other one has 0. Yeah, they do. Okay, what I'm going to do for now is just put 0. Not sure if that's right or wrong, but we'll find out. Okay, this is this one here, digital, high, repeater mode. I want power, turbo power. I have a quick key, I can switch it to low, so that's not a problem. Again, APRS option, this is clicked, everything is good. I think default is good, and this one here uses a color code of 1, slot 2, I believe. Again, may have to create one for slot 1. Okay, that looks good. And this one here, again, I'll put turbo. Always repeater mode, good, that's good. And again, correct group, I just have to finish that. And when I hit next, it will automatically create a default. Okay. And one thing I like about this, I can do a copy and I can do paste insert. So I can move channels, or I can hit Command D or Control D and I can move it down, or I could move it up. So it makes it great when I create a frequency and I want to put it in frequency order or name order. And I forgot one particular repeater, I could change that. It's great. And zones, you have to create a zone. This one is for my analog repeaters. You need to create a zone so that you can scan it in its own groups. And I have not yet completed. I'm going to have to get an updated list of RYC, WRN, and talk groups, as they call it. And I created, for the fun of it, a simple simplex. On my other radio, the TID radio, I have a GMR and FRS and group, and I even have a weather group. So I have about 10 weather channels. So depending where I am, I can switch to one that has a weather report. As you can see, I'm far from complete. So that's basically it. And then you gotta create a scan list. I think I mentioned that, right? Okay, well, this I haven't played with. FM, I threw in the FM channels for the fun of it. Device information, we already looked at it. Optional settings, yeah. All these settings that you see here, you can do on the radio. And there's a lot you can do. You can even set up a recording. The auto repeaters, VFO scan. Yeah, when I had this radio, it was I think it was 117 to whatever. It didn't have the 2 meters, so I put the 2 meters in there. GPS, right now I have it off. That is for the roaming. And the display. I mean, this is where you can change the color. See, I put in the green. I think it was white. And I think the orange, I think it was white. And the date, you can have the date on your radio, but real estate on the screen is limited. It'll only make it crowded. So I just turn off the date and time, because everyone has a watch with a date or some other device. So I didn't need it on my radio. And all sorts of tones you can have. Most of the times I turn it off. I'm not into beeps and tones. I turn it off. If there is one, it'll be very important ones. Power on, you can type in your character. This is what it'll appear. Or you can have a custom picture. Or you can put a password in there, which right now is not turned on. And I also can set up what frequencies I want on my VFO A and VFO B. And I can switch back and forth. Again, I use the VHF, UHF simplex testing channels that I use. And alert tones and the work mode. I don't use work mode. I guess it's a scenario where you're working alone and you need to be monitored because of some sort of hazard. I'm thinking that's what it's about. Your Vox. I'm not sure what this is yet about. Something to do with coding, I guess. FM. I haven't played with that. Power save. Yeah, if you want to save battery here a little bit, you can have it cycle off and on. Right now I have it off. Key function. This is the shortcut. Maybe I can demonstrate this on this one. You can take a quick look at what the battery voltage is. I believe, let me see if I can, 8.11 volts, right? Hitting a short one, it will change my sub channel. Hitting a long one will give me my voltage. And I think, I guess I don't have the watt ones set up yet, but I will later on. I use the bottom one so I can listen to the input of the signal. Especially handy on analog repeaters. Okay. As you can see, it's like endless. Love it. As I think I mentioned already, contacting my seller there from the other side of the world, and no longer available at the price I got, but he promises he'll get me one. So I just have to wait. I may not get it until the new year, as they call it. Okay, address book setup. I haven't really played with that yet. Digital functions. Transmit preamble duration. Recommended setting is 120. I don't know why it was 300. I will put it there for now. Anyways, yeah, this is for digital. This is for digital. Even the format for your SMS, DMR standard. Okay, mobile. I have to look at it. One thing about it, their manual did come with a list explaining every function. So that's good. Master digital monitor ID, any. Yeah, this is where when you're scanning, you could limit your scanning. For example, I only want to scan the memories, the scanning group I have, for example, that on slot 1, or using color 1 or color 6, whatever. So you can really control that. That's a remote kill and lockout, I guess, which I don't use. Filter own ID and missed calls. Yeah, when you have more than one radio and they're both on. Yeah, and you don't reply on the other radio, I guess it'll tell you you missed your own voice. Voice header repetitions. Okay, that probably has to do with how often something gets displayed. I'll have to read about it. So yeah, those are digital functions. There you go. I think my video is long enough. It's just a beginning, and all sorts of alarms. Wow. Local information. Cannot open communication port. Don't know what that is yet. Hotkeys. Oh, what's this? I can create hotkeys to do calls or menus. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay, I guess I have to select this group here first. Not sure if I got a double click or what I'm doing here. I'm not using the right mouse, but yeah. Content. So that'll be something to play at another time. APRS. Wow. Yeah, there are a bunch of settings that you have to set up, which I got the info. I just haven't bothered. But it's there. So if you're into APRS, you got it. And GPS roaming. You have all sorts of database. You got it. Contact groups. Yeah, this is where all the talk groups you got to create. so that you can use it. This will be a list of your prefabricated SMS. There's a default about 245. Receive group call list. Okay. Encryption code, which we don't use. And of course we saw the digital contact list. What do we have for analog? Analog, which I haven't used yet. 5-tone settings, 2-tone settings, DTMF settings. I have not played with that yet. Don't think I'll be needing it, but there you go. In case you are needing any of those features, you have it. I can't find anything I have not yet noticed. Anything that I couldn't do on the radio versus that. And we'll end up doing one section at a time and put up more videos if you want to follow along. It's not complicated once you understand the terminology. I don't know why people are complaining it being that difficult. I only had this radio for 2 days, and the only experience I had with DMR was the TID radio one, and it didn't do half the 2/3 of the things. So there you go. Okay, if it was helpful and you think you like more information on that in particular, please subscribe if you haven't. Thumbs up would be nice because it tells me to keep producing. Until then, have a nice day. If you haven't done so, it would be appreciated. Please subscribe. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.